Oi gente, tudo bem? This is Mikey Antonio and welcome back to my channel. So, today I'd like to talk about how to say there is and there are in Portuguese. So, there are two main ways to say this. There is a and tem. So, a is a bit more formal. You see this a lot in written context and formal context like a business email or perhaps a novel, and it is the third person singular conjugation of the verb haver, which the verb itself isn't really used or conjugated almost ever in Portuguese. Back in the old days it was used more, but now you only use it in certain contexts, such as use the conjugation a to say there is or there are. And I'll give you some examples of how we use this. So you say, há muitas estrelas no céu. There are a lot of stars in the sky. Or you can say, há uma maçã na cozinha. There's an apple in the kitchen. Notice how you don't conjugate the verb. You leave it as a. You don't say You say just a. Regardless of whether you're talking about multiple things or just one thing. The second way to say there is or there are, like I mentioned earlier, is tem, which comes from the verb ter, which means to have. So this is used very commonly in informal context. So you won't really see it, in a business email, but if you're talking to your friends, talking to, somebody on the street, writing a text message, you almost always say tem. So you can say, using the previous examples, tem muitas estrelas no céu. Or you can say, tem uma maçã na cozinha. So this is really important to know. You won't really see it that much in Portuguese textbooks, but this is how people actually talk. So, tem. Remember that. So I'd also like to give a couple more examples because you probably don't talk about apples and stars every day, right? So let's just pretend you're on a street in Brazil and there are a lot of people. So you're like, nossa, tem muita gente aqui na rua, né? Like, wow, there's a lot of people here on the street, yeah? Or let's pretend you're in a mall and you don't speak Portuguese too well, so you want somebody who speaks English to help you. You can say, tem alguém aqui que fala inglês? And that basically means, is there anybody here who speaks English? Which could be very useful, although you should be speaking more Portuguese, not English, in Brazil. And there's a big controversy on whether you put the circunflexo on top of the e. It's because if you know how to conjugate the verb ter, if you put the circunflexo, it makes it third person plural. So you pronounce them the same, but people believe that if you want to say there are, sometimes that you need to put the circunflexo to make sure that you're talking in the plural. However, many scholars, grammarians, and I kind of agree with them, say that you don't have to put the circumflexo, because when you are saying that there is something or there are something, what you're saying afterwards is not the subject. The subject itself is not plural. There is no subject. So the word thing, just like a, is being used as an impersonal verb. So it's always going to be third person singular. So if you want a third and final bonus word, you can use the verb existir, which means to exist. However, if you get bored of, saying a and thing, you might want to say it something, existe. And this verb is a bit different, so you'd want to actually conjugate it, because when you say something afterwards, it actually will be the subject. So using the past examples again, you could say, existem muitas estrelas no céu. Or you can say, existe uma maçã na cozinha. So you want to conjugate the verb existir if you use it in this sense. However, I wouldn't really be going around using this word, using existir in every sentence you can. I would use it here and there just to spice it up, if you don't want to say thing or ah. And generally in more formal context. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So just to go over everything again, to say there is or there are, you could have a and thing, a for formal context, thing for informal context. You don't conjugate either of them. So a is not conjugated, it stays a. Thing stays thing. And then existe when you want to spice it up. Anyways, thank you for watching my video, and subscribe for more. And please come back. I hope to see you soon for more videos.